So here we have Andrew Tate, an American-British kickboxer born in Chicago. It's a pleasure to have you here. You're a three times world champion. That's quite a feat, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't want to be arrogant. Don't want to correct you. It's actually four times.
Four. Oh,
It's
your
three
Wikipedia.
times SKA. And then
Wow.
there's the Fusion World title there as well. So four times world champion.
Wikipedia lied to me.
Yeah.
How weird. How weird.
Yeah, you know what? When I was on my old Twitter at Cobra Tate, every time I would tweet something that people didn't like, they'd edit my Wikipedia and say all this weird shit about me, like I was a sexual deviant and a transgender, first transgender kickboxer, and just everyone would just go through this. But they've stopped now.
That?
Yeah, I don't know how they managed to get away with it. I don't know how it went down. So my whole page for a while was just slandering me, but
how do you manage like that the constant media attack? That must be a little bit stressful sometimes.
You know what? I have this magical ability to not give a fuck. And it's not just about media, it's about life. Like I am exceptionally good at not caring about things. Like I was like, Andrew, you're in the paper, the media hates you. Andrew, you're trending on Twitter, everyone thinks you're a dickhead. And I'm just like, who gives a fuck? I don't care. Don't care.
Where did you think you got that? Is that something like in your family? Is that like something your father like taught you?
I think it's just a matter of understanding that resilience. The key to resilience is that exact mindset. Is that understanding that there's always going to be something to be stressed about, and there's always going to be something to be mad about. And there's always going to be something to worry about. So they're always going to exist.
Okay.
So so it's like you're either going to be the person who's going to worry about them or you're not. I was raised very black and white. Besides my jumper, there's never been much gray in my life. So it's you either care or you don't.
Okay.
And a great way to decipher if you should care or not is if you can affect it or not. You know, if I say something and it goes viral and everyone gets upset, well, to me, it's a series of yes or no questions. Did I type it? Yes. Did I mean it? Yes. Am I going to retract my statement? No. So then that's it. So they're upset. So there's nothing that can be done. I'm not going to come along and start pretending I'm sorry. I'm not going to come along and lie. So it's like it is what it is. It's the natural progression of the world. And they can do it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and that's something I think that runs in your family because your brother is also more or less like that, isn't he?
Yeah, we're cut of the same cloth. We're basically the same. We're resilient and we say what we mean what we say. And my view is very much that if someone is angry or someone has a problem, it's their problem. They're the one who feels the anger. Okay. This is the thing that people don't understand. If I say something and they get angry, well, they're the one who feels angry. I don't feel anything.
Yeah, that's it.
So them insulting me, them trying to make me give a shit, it's just them trying to absolve their responsibility with their own emotion. Yes. I'm angry. I'm trying to make him angry back so that we're both angry. So they're trying to pass the buck. Did you ever get angry?
Did you ever get angry?
I get angry, but I don't get angry at what people tweet at me. Like I don't. I've never read Twitter in my life.
So do you have like your notifications off?
Well, they're all there. I've got every insult in the world in my notifications right now, and it's just I'm through my 5 Twitter accounts. I think I'm on my 5th Twitter account now.
Yeah.
I keep getting banned. Through my 5 Twitter accounts, I've never once sat there and read the words and been like, I can't believe. Every time it's just like whatever. It's just like to me, it's a big joke. I don't care.
So I think there's a big difference between you and others. I've talked with other people and they just block the people. Do you block people on Twitter?
I never block, no.
So that's just don't.
I heard this is why I keep getting banned because I end up with armies of people who hate me who report me all day.
Yes.
That might be why. Maybe I should block, but I don't block because to me, I don't know. There's something about it to me that just feels a bit cowardly.
Well, the thing is that you have power over the people that gets angry with your tweets or your words.
Well, the thing is, and also I think this is why my accounts grow so fast because if there's someone who's going to tweet at me all day insulting me, then all their list is going to think, who the fuck's this guy? And I think that's why I grow so fast through the haters because I'll get 10 grand followers. I'll get 10K followers in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
no big deal.
Well, you've been like, as you said, banned 5-6 times, and you just grow this fast.
Can't kill me. Take that. So now, sometimes
talking about banning, how do you You recently, I read a tweet that you were recently like more or less banned from the payment processor people. How do you manage that? Because no money, that's a killer, man.
Man, I don't. There's some crazy shit going on the world today, and if you're on the wrong side of the political spectrum, I mean, I just went on Infowars, which is where all the right wing crazy people go. I went on the crazy.
I can now say I want people away from Alex Jones.
Yeah, but I was there with him, and everyone was like, "Oh, you did so great." Da, da, da. But I don't know. I think I've ended up on some list, bro. I think I've just upset the world so much. I'm on some list, and they're like, you know what? Every time this dude pops up, let's just take his stuff. He talks too damn much.
I read some articles, and they say bad things about you, man.
Oh yeah, man. Everyone thinks I'm the worst guy in the world. Everyone thinks I'm some huge mafia hitman, racist, sexist, terrible dude. And in reality, it's not like that at all. I mean, I'm a relatively nice guy. I've never gone, I've avoided jail thus far. I mean, I'm not that bad,
How did you avoid jail?
You know what it is? I think the reason I upset people so much is exactly because what I was saying earlier. They can't upset me back.
Yes.
And that's what upsets them. That I say something that emotionally affects them. So what normally happens in a traditional exchange of the human species is I say something that upsets you, you say something that upsets me back. That's how arguments work.
Yes.
But what happens with me is I say something that upsets you, you say something, and I don't care. So it's just like I'm the invincible man. I'm Superman, and it makes them more mad, and I just become this villain.
You do that also in business, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, surely not giving a shit and being resilient is absolutely a superpower in nearly any field.
Yes,
it doesn't matter whether it's fighting, business, anything else, personal relationships, even with you and your girls, it's a superpower to just be like, okay, well, yeah, you're pissed off, but I don't get pissed off. So
it's just interesting when you say girls, because for example, I'm a married man. I'm just one girl, her.
Well, hey, and you know what? I am not the dude who's out here telling anyone how to live. So I'm genuine. I believe people should do whatever it takes to be happy.
I agree.
I say this all the time. If you're married and you're happily married, that's fantastic. And I support you. But you should also support me when I say, I don't want to get married. I want 20 bitches. That's what I want. I don't know if I'm swearing too much in your podcast, bro.
No, it doesn't matter. I laugh, but I do not agree with that. Because as you said, it's your life. You can do whatever you want to do. And if it's consensual, that's 100% fine with me. That's what people don't understand. When there's a consensual agreement, that's okay.
Exactly. People, how can I be a womanizer if the women want to be with me?
Yeah, they just want to.
They want to. They could leave. Then there's no jail cells. Like everyone's free to go, but they don't want to go. So it's a decision they've made. It's a decision I've made. I do need to one day have children. I do need to, buckle down, all those things, and it is going to happen. But in the meantime, I prefer to live my life this particular way. Yeah. And for the same reason, I will never tell someone who's happily married to not be happily married. I don't expect anyone to come along and tell me not to live my life. But people do try. Mainly, you know what it is, though? Mainly, it's like ugly chicks who try that. Usually, it's ugly girls.
Yeah, that's some weird crap, man. I don't understand why they... Well, I do. They just want to pull someone from the...
They're upset they can't be part of the... They're like, I want to be one of the 20 and I'm not hot enough, so I'm just going to start trying to give this guy some trouble.
Yeah. You said something about having kids. I have one. My wife is pregnant at this moment. She's about to how do you say that? Give birth in around 3 months. And I can say having children is an awesome experience. So I want to talk about that with you. Have you ever engaged with children with do you have nieces or no? It's only you, your brother?
I've got a sister in America. It's me, my brother, my sister. I don't really talk or engage with young children very much, probably hardly ever at all. I am looking forward to having my own kids.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it in a far more
10, 20 years?
No. Sooner rather than later, but it's going to be much more like a project than fun. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking I can make the next Andrew Tate. Right now, I'm super awesome, and I can make the super awesome. I can make an even better
copy of you.
Yeah.
How are you planning to do that? Because, for example, society you have to marry. You have to be with that person and stay the whole life. That's something that, studies more or less say that it's the best thing for the children, having both their father and their son.
Yeah.
How are you going to manage that?
Well, here's my view. I am a results-based man. So I like to keep everything in my life results-based. If I have a car and it isn't performing, the car's got to go. If I have a business and it ain't making me money, it's got to go. If I have a chick and she ain't acting right, she's got to go. So I believe in incentives. So my view is as follows. If I marry one girl, then the law and the government and the country is telling me I have to be with her, or I have to give her X amount of money if I leave her, or I have to X, Y, Z. They're the ones deciding. Whereas in my particular situation now, in Romania where I live, where there's none of these laws, and on top of that, the fact that I have so many women I'm with, whoever I have kids with, whatever, if she pisses me off, then I'll make sure the kid ain't starving, but you ain't going to be driving a Range Rover if you annoy me. It's results-based. You better be good. If you're good,
I understand that.
You're going to be a rich mother. Because my kid, I don't believe in raising kids rich. Kid don't need nothing. Kid
I don't believe that also.
So I ain't worried about the kid. I can give him $20 of food a week. That's him done. Yeah. He doesn't need nice clothes. He doesn't need nothing. He's going to grow up ghetto. So as for you,
he's going to learn resilience like that. He just needs to learn how to get results by himself.
Absolutely. I grew up poor. That's how it is. So as for the mom who wants Gucci handbags and stuff, she better stay looking pretty, not get fat, and stay agreeable and nice to be around. Because if you're going to start being one of those baby mamas with a big mouth, you're going to end up broke. And I'm results.
She's like a businesswoman as yourself. You're a businessman, but how would you manage that? If she's like a businesswoman, she has everything. She doesn't give a fuck if
a lot of the women, I think if a woman had her own things and stuff, it's going to be hard when she gets pregnant and have kids. Yeah. I noticed in Eastern Europe, especially, not just Romania, but all of Eastern Europe, even when women have children, they stay in fantastic shape and they look so good. You'll see a woman, you can look on Instagram right now. Anyone watching this, look on Instagram right now. Type in a Russian supermodel with 2 million followers. She's still got 3 kids. She still looks amazing.
Yeah.
And the reason is because there's no such thing as alimony payments. So if you're not still fuckable, your man's going to run off with some 19-year-old chick. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just performance based. It's competition. Okay. So they're I want my man to still love me, so I better stay nice. So
that's interesting because here in the Dominican Republic we have the alimony laws. I have some friends that just went broke because of that. Yep. And they need to pay that alimony like by law. And if they don't do it, they're gonna have a really bad luck with the law.
With the law. And I understand why the alimony laws exist. I understand it's because the government doesn't want to be forced trying to raise all these kids. I get it.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, I like the idea of having children and I'm going to look after my kid, but looking after a kid is not nearly as expensive as looking after the mother because that's what the mother wants. Yes. And that's what happened is if she's a nice, agreeable person. If I say I'm taking the kid for a week, or if I say I can't see the kid this week, I'm traveling for business, I don't want no big ass argument. I'm not going to be one of them guys arguing with his baby mama over some dumb shit. You're 10 minutes late to get him. Blah, you can't see him anymore. I'm not doing nothing. You want to get fresh, you're not getting no money in your bank. That's how it is. Big bank take.
That's how it is. Results based.
Yeah, it's results based. Results based. You better behave yourself. That's how it is.
Hey, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because that's not how it works for many men.
Yeah, of course. Of course, but I've just thought ahead a little bit. That's why I run away out here.
Yeah.
I run away out here where I am for a variety of reasons, but that's one of them.
Yeah, so and I want to talk about those variety of reasons. So I just came up with two like main titles for the main themes for these videos that we're having right now. The first one, the worm mentality. Why? Because you've talked about being a worm and how that life is just meaningless.
Yeah.
You've tweeted a lot about that, and that got me thinking. Wow, calling someone a worm is really a really terrible insult because worm has no meaning.
It's my favorite insult.
Yeah, it's horrible. And the other part is the Tate mentality for business. Okay. So I want to start first with the worm mentality. What do you consider are like the traits of a worm person?
Well, the reason I call people worms is because it's probably, when I think of animals, there's a lot of animals which aren't necessarily big, strong predators, but they have something admirable about them.
Okay.
You know, like even a mouse can't hurt you, but it can run fast, it can scurry. Even a cockroach, it's ugly, but like it can survive a nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
Like, but a worm is just the most. It can't go anywhere. It just sits there, just waiting to die, just wriggling around. It has no defense mechanism. It can't even see. It can't see you coming. It can't even make a noise. It can't even try and repel you with a noise. It's just a pointless, just waiting to be killed. Just a worm.
Just food. Food for the predators.
More calories for whoever wants to eat it. The only defense a worm has is to go deep into the dirt and stay in the dirt like a little worm on its own. That's your defense. So I think a lot of people are like that. And in many more ways, they think they have no capable measure of defending themselves. I'm not even just talking about physically. I'm talking about mentally. I'm talking about in every single sphere. They have no ability to defend themselves. And they just think, so physicality is a great thing. Like I'm a kickboxing world champion, but it doesn't make you invincible. If I get jumped by 10 guys with knives, I'm going to fucking lose. So this isn't about being a tough guy. It's about mentality. Most people don't have the mental space to defend themselves. They're not strong enough in their character to stick up to themselves under peer pressure. They won't stick up to themselves because their family says a certain thing or their friends say a certain thing. They collapse all the time. And that's one of the first tenets of being a worm, because worms have no ability to fight back.
Okay.
My view of the world is a very combative view of the world. And that's not because I'm a kickboxer. It's because what I've observed is that the balance of things, yin and yang, basically people will push you as far as you let them push you.
Okay.
I really believe this. And when I saw a news article a couple of days ago about a guy who ended up being a gay slave to this. No, I'm telling you, bro. He ended up being a slave to this gay couple.
Tell me that.
He was a gay slave to this gay couple, and he ended up like cleaning their whole house and stuff. And he was like a gay slave thing. They had some sexual thing, and he got AIDS and he died or whatever.
Oh man, horrible.
But my point is, there's some people who have no boundary to how far they'll be pushed.
Okay.
And if you're that kind of person, there's always someone who's going to push you to the you're going to find someone else who's going to push you to the absolute limit. You're going to find yourself naked with a dildo where it shouldn't be, cleaning windows, because you have nothing, you have no resistance in you. Everyone has a different level of how much crap they'll take from the world. So there's
you don't take crap from no one.
Say again?
You don't take crap from no one.
Well, I try and take crap from no one. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple people I sometimes might let them get away with a word.
I guess that your brother is one of them.
Yeah, and my kickboxing coach gave me a shitload of. My dad was alive; he was in charge, and there's a few people I'll submit to. But besides them, like the world is out to give you as much crap as you'll take. So when I see someone going, "Oh, the world, I'm struggling, it's bad luck, this, that," I'm like, it's because you're just taking too much shit off people. Okay. You got to just stand up for yourself.
That's the worm mentality.
That's the worm mentality, is to just sit and just wait for someone to fuck you up and do pretty much nothing about it and just be abused and used as calories for someone else.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of men that they're just like sitting all day playing video games. I don't have anything in against playing video games, but playing video games all day long and just losing your life in that.
Well, this is the thing. Video games are entertaining and they're addictive because they're designed. And that's why I don't play them. Because even I will pick up a game, start playing it, and go, this is pretty fun. Yeah. But it's like, but then what do you get? There's nothing at the end of it. There's nothing at the end of it. And what's actually interesting is that video games mimic achievement perfectly. Yeah. Oh, I've leveled up. Oh, this. And they're giving you that joy and that dopamine from achievement because it's much easier just to move your thumbs than to get up and get it in the real life. That's why people get addicted to them.
So
a whole bunch of people wasting their lives, man, and it's their prerogative, but it isn't my prerogative. And these are exact same people who complain at the same time.
Yeah,
complain. It's crazy.
It is like that. And talking about addiction, Twitter addiction, Instagram addiction, social media addiction. How do you manage that? Because they distract us from the goal. Achievement, results.
Yep.
How do you manage that? Because I see you tweeting a lot. I know you do business with Twitter and with your other social media, but you're not immune from that notification and the rush.
In fact, I'll say the opposite. I will say that one of my only vices in the world is I am permanently on my phone. Okay. Everyone who knows me says, Tate, I've never seen anyone who's on their phone as much as you. So
Okay.
I'm the typical phone addict.
Okay.
I am. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna come out. I'm coming clean. Oh no, it's my AA meeting. I'm a phone
Okay.
addict. The reason, but it's not that I can't stop. I could easily put my phone away. I could easily stop because I have willpower. But I'm just so used to just the constant information that now when I don't have my phone, the world is a bit bland. It's like, okay, we're having dinner. Okay, yeah. Or I've heard her say that before. That's boring. Okay. It's just like what there's no, you get used to the constant in your face all day long, you know? So you do get used to it.
Yeah,
So
I'm battling with that right now because as my account is growing, you get a lot of DMs and people like business inquiries and people just saying thank you for your content and that really makes one feel like somewhat special.
yeah.
Because like outside Twitter, people don't usually say thank you.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You see a love fest in social media, but outside social media, you don't get that kind of praise.
It's true, man. It's true. So I mean, it's very easy to get addicted to these things, and I'm as addicted to them as everyone else. Everyone who's on them to a degree is semi-addicted.
Yeah,
When I lost my Twitter and I didn't have it for 6 months, would I say I was a happier person? You know what? It's weird. It's one of those things like once you lose it, you do genuinely forget it exists. Twitter is a weird world, man. The opinions and the things you see on Twitter, you don't see in real life.
No.
And you very quickly forget that the whole thing even exists. And then my brother will go to me, remember when you did that on Twitter? And then I'll say, oh, yeah, and I'll sign up again. But in general, I could easily quit social media, but I am a phone addict in general. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm not the best person to say about not being on their phone. But the reason I'm on my phone is because the things that are happening on my phone, to me, are just more important than the things that are often happening around me.
For example?
If I've got 3 big booty cuties messaging me, if I've got a dude talking to me about a $500,000 deal, and if I've got like some verified whatever, I'm talking about and doing important things. I'm not playing games on my phone.
You're doing business.
I'm making money. I'm talking to girls I want to associate with. I'm organizing important things. Like I'm actually doing things. So when I put my phone down and go, okay, we're in a cafe having coffee.
Okay.
But on my phone there's all that. And here
so you're using it for productive stuff. It's not just addiction for entertainment. Although you get entertained by what your people tweet and stuff, but you do business with your phone.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm addicted to it because I'm addicted to always trying to progress in some form. The last time I had a game, which I have to, I used to download games before I flew and then play the games on the plane. But one time I downloaded a game, I can't remember what it was called. It was one of those clicker games.
Yes.
I got off the plane and I said, I'm still playing this game. Tristan he goes, numbers never end, right? You're just going to go on forever. Numbers never end.
Yes.
So I just deleted it right then and there, even though I'd done all that progress. I just bit the bullet and was like, you're right. Just fucking delete this shit before you get more sucked in.
What's your take on how a warm person or a warm mentality person can break out of their shell and just stop being a worm and turn into a business person or a great person?
The truth is this, man. It's risk versus reward. And this is the reality of life, is that it doesn't matter if it's business, it doesn't matter if it's fighting, it doesn't matter if it's something else. There's always a risk versus reward. The reason people end up in a worm-like state is because it's the least possible risk. But then it's also the least possible reward. That they go hand in hand.
Yeah, so, they do.
So if you want to stand up for yourself and start doing important things, you also have to be very prepared for all the bullshit that comes with that.
And you will get that.
And you're going to get it. And you have to be resilient.
Yes.
I think one of the biggest determining factors in how successful someone is how well they can deal with stress. And I genuinely mean that. Like,
how do you deal with stress?
Well, I mean, like even now, now I've got an easier life. But at the peak of my life, I just started 2 businesses. I was also training to be a world level fighter. I also had 2 girlfriends who didn't know about each other. I had so much shit going on in my life. And most people couldn't deal with the impact of having a world title fight, two businesses at the same time, staff leaving. I had lost some money. Long story. I was fucking 40 grand down. These two girls just caught each other, me cheating. They're both at my house threatening to kill me. Like, there's so much shit going on.
Yeah.
And most people just can't deal with the mental load of it all. I put myself in that situation because I knew I was capable of handling everything.
Yeah.
The more stress you can handle, the more things you can take on. And that's what money making is. It doesn't matter what it is, but in general, making money is solving a problem for someone. And so the more problems you can adopt, the more problems you can take on, the more problems you can solve, the more problems you'll make.
Yeah, that's like trial by fire.
Absolutely. So if you're the guy who can fix all the problems and take all the stress and deal with all the shit, you'll usually probably end up with some money for doing that.
Okay.
So,
do you have like some practical way to deal stress? For example, some people just like to meditate or take a walk. In your case, you have your girlfriends, so I guess there's a way to, So how do you manage with that? What do you do to deal with stress, like specifically?
Specifically to deal with stress, I think it's just looking at it from outside yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like even right now, I won't give details, but 2 days ago, I lost $150,000.
Okay.
It's a lot of money.
It is.
So I could sit and worry and cry and da-da-da. Now I'm doing my best actively to get that money back.
Mm-hmm.
But also you have to look at it from outside yourself and sit and think and just understand that two things. One, the sun's going to keep on rising. It's going to go down, it's going to come up, and the world's going to keep spinning. And there's a whole bunch of people out there who have their own problems, and no one else gives a fuck. The reason I'm not going to sit and lament about my issues and cry about it is because no one cares. And for me to sit and believe other people care is the biggest mistake I could make. Nobody gives a fuck. Even if I were to die in a car crash tomorrow, there'd be a few tweets. Remember that guy, RIP, RIP. In a week from now, the Twitter timeline will still be going on. The world will still be spinning. The sun will still be going up and down. And I might get thought of now and again. But in general, I'm history. This is it. The world's not going to stop for nobody.
That's a very humbling thing to.
It's super humbling.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, you think about your stresses and your problems, and you realize that in the grand scheme of the universe, okay, right now I've got two girls, both with kitchen knives, threatening to kill me, waiting for me at my door. Okay, that's a problem.
What is it? What's that like?
Ninja, bro. They ain't ready. They ain't ready for Big Daddy T. They ain't ready. They come at you with their feeble, murderous attempts.
You're a kickboxer. So
they come out the game. So, but in the grand scheme of the world, in terms of the size of the planets in the solar system, how important is that event? Who gives a fuck? In 5 years from now, everything that's stressing me out right now, in 5 years from now, will I still be stressed about it? Well, the answer is no. Yeah. So time is going to heal it. So why don't I just accelerate that process using the power of my superhuman brain and thinking, you know what, in a few years, I'm not going to care. So why don't I just stop caring now?
Yeah, so
it's trained,
That's a great way to talk about the Tate mentality. It's just like put yourself outside of the situation, analyze it, like being an eagle flying to the field, analyze it, and just be humble about things, about your importance in the history. That's a very interesting thought, because some people might feel or think that being so small in the timeline of the universe is something wrong, is something bad. But you reframe it into something positive.
Absolutely.
To break yourself out of stress.
Absolutely. There's even if you're Trump himself, I mean, it doesn't matter.
That guy.
Yeah. If he, but sooner or later, nothing's going to stop the world from functioning. Nothing it's going to continue. It's just the reality of it. And people get so absorbed in themselves and their feelings. I feel sad. Who the fuck? No one cares how you feel. Because in terms of the reality of the planet, it's not important. But people attach importance to things that aren't important. And on top of that, this is another thing people forget, man. There is always someone who has it worse. Yes. There's always someone who has it worse. Yes, and you say that and people go, yeah, I guess. No, not I guess. There's some dude out there who just lost his wife, his children, his mother, and his dad in a car crash at once. And he's homeless And like, there's some guy who's just lost it all, and it ain't you. So there's someone who has it worse than you, and they're still breathing. So you need to just chill out, you know. And people just get absorbed within themselves. I look at everything from an external point of view. I lost 150 grand. I'm upset about it, but I still got a roof over my head. I still got a Lambo next door. Whatever. You just got to be like, what am I going to do? Sit, cry, let it ruin my day, let it ruin my mood. You just have to be like, whatever. Time is going to heal the wound. And I just try and use my mind to accelerate that process. Just think, I know I'm not going to care in a few months, so I'm just going to not care now. And you can apply this to everything. I applied this when my dad died, as hard as that was. I was like, I know time's going to heal me. So you know what? I'm just going to man up right now. I was live on Romanian TV 2 hours after I found out he died. Okay. Like, what am I going to do? Sit in my room and fucking cry about it? Go get up. If you lose a girlfriend, you're having a breakup. Yeah, it's upsetting. But sooner or later, you're going to get over it. So you might as well just get over it now. Like, what's the delay for? The delay is because you can't control your mind. The delay is because you're waiting for your mind to do it by itself. Well, your mind is something you can directly influence.
Yes.
You can directly tell it what to do. So just do it.
Some people just don't know how to do that.
Well, people aren't trained to do it. And on top of that, people are told the opposite. This is why when I said depression wasn't real, everyone went nuts and came. But the reason is because people are told that they have no control over their mind. And that's not true. My view is one of the only things on earth you can control is your mind. It's your mind. You can't control the weather. You can't control other people. You can't even control your health. I can go gym every day and I can still have a fucking brain hemorrhage and die. Yes. You never know. The only thing you control is your own state of mind. Yeah. So when I say to people, I can think myself happy, they're like, what does that mean? It's like, it means I can sit there for 2 minutes and just think about all the great things I have and my family and the fact that I ain't hungry and and I can smile and I can make myself happy in a minute and a half.
That's some powerful stuff, man.
And but it's something you have to actively train.
Yes.
But people are told what the modern world tells people, you can't do that. You can't fix your mind. How you feel, there's nothing you can do. Go to the doctor, take this pill. It's all garbage. It's garbage. The mind is the only thing you have control over, so control it.
100% agree with you with that.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm saying it's going to take some practice, but absolutely it's mind control. This is why all these Wim Hof going into cold water. There's no physiological difference between him and anyone else. It's in his head. Everything is mental. It all starts in one place.
Yes, I agree with that. And I believe that that's something you brought from your kickboxing life into your businesses, your private life. Because I can just imagine. I imagine this is a scenario. Some dude kick you in the face. The next day you have a big ass, how do you call it? Hematoma? I don't know the term in English.
Swelling, yeah.
Yeah, swelling. I've always asked myself, how do fighters keep fighting after getting their face kicked by a train? But because I guess that I've been kicked once in my life, there.
Yeah.
That hurts. That hurts. How do you manage that the next day? Not in the moment, because the adrenaline, you don't feel shit. But the next day, how do you manage that? Or how do you manage that?
My coach had a philosophy. When I used to go into the gym and I would have an injury or something. Let's say I had a hurt ankle. Mm-hmm. I'm training for a fight. I said, I can't run. I've got a hurt ankle. Okay. He'd say, do you think your opponent is going to go easy on you because you can't run? Like, you're telling me your ankle hurts and you can't go running. That's fine. So when you get in the ring, are you going to be able to say that to your opponent? Oh, don't go as hard because I didn't go running, so I'm not as fit. Do you think your opponent's going to give a shit? Or is he going to destroy you to the best of his ability, regardless of whether you run or not? And the truth is, he's out to get you. So it doesn't matter. So when you're making excuses because of your ankle, it isn't giving you any kind of benefit in any way. Okay. And life is the same. Life is going to destroy you to the best of its ability. So you have to train yourself to be resilient to it. And you have to train yourself to fight back. And a lot of people come up with excuses. I have this all the time. People DM me and they go, I'm overweight. Well, then lose weight. I can't because I'm depressed. It's like, is your heart going to not have a heart attack? And go, well, I was about to have a heart attack, but I won't because he was depressed, so it's not his fault he didn't lose weight. Your heart doesn't care. Reality doesn't care. You're still going to have a heart attack. You're still going to die. So whether you're depressed or not, or whatever excuse you have, your excuses do not impact the reality of the world. So if you want to be a realist and live in the real world, then you have to understand your excuses have absolutely zero weight to anyone but yourself.
That's true.
You have excuses so that you can justify in your own mind why you act how you act. But it doesn't change the reality of anything. So if you're a pure realist, a pure logical thinker, as I am, you understand that excuses are garbage. And the only thing that matters is reality, and there's nothing outside of it.
Yeah, and in business, it's just like that. In business, there's nothing else to do. And for example, you work with clients, you have your clients, you've had clients before, and you have clients right now in your war room. Yeah. And what you say, I guess you teach that within the war room.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got the Tate Shinkai products. So the reason I've got all this stuff on Tate Shinkai, basically, I was getting the same questions over and over again from the same people. So I think in many ways, I live the teenage boy's dream of like, if you're 19 and you find my account and you see all these
I want that.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah, you're like, what? I see all these girls. I see this Lambo. He's got Bentley. He's here. He's there. I'm like, Dan Bilzerian's Dan Bilzerian. I'm not on his level, but I did it all myself.
That's another level, man. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, but I know that he's a trust fund kid. He denies it, but I know for a fact he is because I know.
Okay.
He's a trust fund kid anyway. So I did it all myself. So I kind of give him a bit of hope, like, wow, this guy did it himself. I could do it myself too. But I kept getting asked, how do you get girls? So that's why I teach it I say, go to TateShinkai.com. It shows you exactly how to get girls. And the war room's a mentality thing. I had a lot of people coming to me saying, I don't know like-minded people who want to get the same kind of things I do. And I was like, all right. So I put this war room together. So we have like 50, 60 guys in this Telegram now. All day we've been talking about how to make money. All day. We've got 3 new businesses we're launching tomorrow between us all.
Great.
It's just a whole bunch of dudes sitting about how can we make money. Because I was saying, like, one of my biggest strengths is that the only people I associate with are people who are money hungry. They're my only friends. If I go to dinner, we sit and we talk about money. Is what we talk about.
No, and that's really straightforward. You either get money or you don't get money. So that's it. That's yes or no.
If you go to dinner and you sit down and one guy has a fucking, I don't know, one business, another guy has another business, and you're all talking about whether business is good, bad, what's working, what's not working. Yes. If you're always talking about money, then your mind's on money. You end up with new ideas. You end up with, oh, maybe I can help you with this. Or I know a guy who can help you with this. Or have you tried this? Or whatever. But if you just go and meet your friends and talk about ice cream, then how are you going to end up with a money-making idea? This is the thing. I have so many guys go, oh, yeah, but my friends don't care about money. Well, you go around your friend's house to play video games all day. And you're wondering why you're not a millionaire. Like, what planet you on? Like, when I was young, all the friends I had, all we talked about was how to get rich. I didn't have friends otherwise. Because that's all I want. I didn't care about nothing else.
Yeah, and I guess that's a common theme when you are raised poor, that people just want to get rich. But the thing is that many just want to, but they don't do the stuff to get rich. You did the stuff to get rich.
Well, this is the thing. Want is an overused word. And the reason for that is because, I'll give you an example. Singing. I can't sing. If someone goes, do you want to be able to sing? I'll say, well, yeah. I want to be able to sing. Like, do you go to singing lessons? Well, no, I don't. Well, then I don't really want it. This is why want is overused. See, what everyone's hoping for is the benefits of something without any of the work involved. Well, if that's the case, I can offer you right now the benefits of anything, even things you're not interested in, and you'd say yes. If I say, I'll tell you what, I can make you the best cello player on the planet. You don't really care about cello because you don't play cello. But if I say I can do it like this, like the Matrix, and download it into your brain, they're going to say, well, yeah, okay, fine, why not? So this is why people go, I want to be rich. Well, obviously, who doesn't? But if you really wanted it, you'd be doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So want is overused. They don't want it. They just want the pure benefit without the work. And there's nothing on the planet that there's no person on the planet who wouldn't accept the benefit of something without the work. It doesn't matter what it is. Ballet, cello, money, scuba diving. If it came like this, yeah, sure. If I could click my fingers and become the best scuba diver in the world, I'd take it. Why not? But I'm not going to go out there and learn how because I don't care.
That's a common theme in our Twitter sphere. The massive action, the massive work, the massive results. That's something we talk a lot in Twitter. And I want to talk a little bit about that. How do you, Andrew Tate, deliver massive value to your clients?
what I make sure I do, because a lot of mine is very like personalized. So the things I sell are quite unique. Like I have a course on how to get girls, for example.
Excuse me. What do you mean? What do you mean by personalized? Can you define what personalized is to you?
So if anyone who buys any of my products, they have direct access to me.
So they get your phone, your email.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
And if they're having a problem, they'll have my direct input. So it's not just like getting a product. It's like you get a product, plus you get to speak to Tate about it forever. So all my products are like a baseline view on how I do things. And when people understand the basics, if there's anything else they want to know, they come to me and I help them from there. Okay. And a lot of the times when I say I have a course on how to get girls, people go, well, that's not important. You're a married man. You know how much happiness can come from having a good woman by your side. Every man on the planet wants a good woman by their side. Yes. It doesn't matter if you're rich and you have everything else, but you haven't got a good woman, or women are just cheating on you or divorcing you or whatever. You're going to be miserable.
Yes.
So it's a huge factor of every man's life is their relationship with females. So it's an important thing to learn. So I teach how I view women and how I'm not going to say how I view women and like tell everyone to be like me, how I approach women, how to be confident around women. That I teach all these things because I know that it's going to benefit people's lives. I've had so many positive reviews you would not believe. I've never had.
I've seen them. I've seen them on Twitter.
I've not had a single negative review ever.
Okay.
And a few guys will come up to me and go, you know what? I just don't get this bit. I'll Skype them for free. So with me, what I try and do is I try and make sure they get 100% of my time, because I know what I'm giving people is genuinely improving their lives.
Yeah. For example, when they come like a really personal question, they say, Andrew, my wife wants to leave me. My boss wants to fire me. Something like life-changing. You have power over those people because they take your advice seriously.
Yep.
How do you try not to influence them, like in a way that they do what you say and not what they should do by themselves?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
My philosophy on everything is always the same. My philosophy is you need to be yourself. And I know this sounds cliche, but hear me out. You can only impersonate or pretend to be anyone else for so long. You can't live your life as an actor. You can only be yourself in the long term. So if I have a girl who's unhappy with certain things about me, but that's who I am, then to me, there's no option but to split up. Okay. Even if I miss her, even if I love her, even if whatever, what's the alternative? To pretend, to act, to change, you can't change when you're a full grown man. That's who you are. You're not going to change every single thing about your personality.
It's hard.
It's hard. So I'll just encourage people to be themselves. So look, be yourself. If your boss has a problem with that, then maybe you need a new job. If your girl has a problem with that, then whatever. Because you're never going to be happy unless you're truly yourself anyway. Isn't that the end goal of everything, is to be happy? You want to get rich, so you're happy. You want to get married, so you're happy. You want to have a good girlfriend, whatever, so you're happy. You want to go snowboarding, so you're happy. The end goal is the same. So if you're thinking,
would you say that you're a happy man?
I would say I'm a happy man. Yeah.
How so?
I'm a happy guy. Yeah. So? In my own unique, I have a unique spin on happiness. But by my own metric, I'm happy. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
So what makes Andrew Tate happy?
I need freedom to be happy.
Define freedom.
I need to know that I don't have to be at a certain place at a certain time. I need to know that there's no boss who controls me. I need to know I can say what I want. I need to know I can fly wherever I want to fly. I need to know that I can do as I like. I don't like to feel constrained in any way.
How do you manage your business relationship? Because sometimes that mentality like makes it hard for the other person to deal, for example, with that. How do you manage when the other person says, Tate, I don't agree with that. Yeah. Nope. Whatever you say, I won't do it. We won't do it. How do you manage that?
Yeah, and that's a big factor. It's absolutely a factor. But you know what? I have this reputation as the ultimate villain of the internet.
Okay.
I do have this bad guy image. But I really do think that, like there's no such thing as an absolute rule, and there is nuance to everything. Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in just basic respect. Like if someone invests 100 grand in a business and me and him doing it together, I won't take his money and disappear.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going on holiday now. I'm not that dude. You know, like I do show respect to other people and those kind of things. But when I say I want to feel free, I just don't want to ever feel like my life's in a box.
Yeah.
And that's my personal view of happiness. But you know what? Like some of the happiest people I've ever spoken to are homeless.
Okay.
I've spoken to homeless people, and they've been.
Tell me about that. Tell me.
I was walking through Slovakia because she'd say Slovakia 5 years ago, and a homeless guy started talking to me in Slovak. And when people talk to me in foreign languages, because I've been to 72 countries, I've been everywhere, and I don't speak any language but English.
Okay.
I don't bother learning. I've been in Romania 3 years. I don't know any. I don't know nothing.
And people just know how to speak English. So.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm just one of them ignorant English speakers. So I'm just like, English? What's wrong with you? You know, I'm one of them guys. So anyway, he started talking to me Slovakian, and I just said English. That's my reply, English. And he said to me in perfect English, my friend, where are you going? I said, I'm going to the bar. He goes, you have nice clothes and you have a great place to sleep, and you're going to the bar to drink vodka. Imagine how much I need vodka. And I said, well, that's a pretty good view on the world, to be honest. Like, my life's good and I want vodka. Your life's shit. Of course you want vodka. And he goes, I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to pretend I need money for anything else. I want vodka. I'll buy you a bottle of vodka. So I bought my bottle of vodka, and we sat there for a while and talked some shit. And then the next day I saw him and 3 of his friends, and I sat down. They all spoke English, surprisingly, because the homeless people spoke better English than the people with jobs.
Okay.
I sat there for about 2 hours drinking vodka in the park with these homeless people. And they were all none of them had a sad story to tell. None of them were like, oh, my life messed up. One guy was literally saying to me, I don't like having a job. I don't like having responsibility. Sometimes nice men like you buy me vodka, and I sleep here, and I don't want anything else. He was happy. He was happy. He's like, the reason I don't have more is because I'm happy with what I've got. He goes, I don't care. He goes, I don't want, people tell me they're going to help me find a job. I don't want a job. I don't want to go to work. I want to drink my vodka and fall asleep on the bench. And
I like the story, man.
And then you start to look at world. You think, okay, so what is successful? Are you successful if you're rich, working for a bank, working 15 hours a day? Your wife is cheating on you. You're stressed. You're about to have a heart attack. No, you're successful if you're content and you're happy. So in many ways, the homeless people are more successful than the person doing the job they hate. Success is just how happy you are.
Yes.
If that's what it takes to make you happy, then whatever it is. So I could be a lot richer than I am if I was all about the money, but I do other things and try and live a different life so that I feel I don't care about money as much as I care about my free time and whatever. So sometimes you have to just do what makes you happy, and the happier you are, the more successful you are. And I say this to people: if you start an online business and you make $1,000 a month,
yes,
and that's it, but you manage to find a little place to chill, and you're living a good life, and no one's telling you what to do, and you're stressed. You're happy. You're successful. You're successful. Why not? Why? I don't want to talk for too long, but I don't know if you ever heard there's a short story about the Mexican fisherman. Have you ever heard about that?
Tell me.
There's an American businessman who's down in Mexico, and he sees a Mexican fisherman who goes out and fishes, and he catches one fish, and he comes home. And the American businessman goes, "Why did you only catch one fish? That whole place is full of fish. You're a very good fisherman. You only caught one." He goes, "Yeah, because I like to just catch one fish so I'm not hungry. And then I like to go and just chill with my family on the beach and drink some wine." And the American guy goes, No. That's not what you do. You need to go out there and catch as many fish as possible. You can sell them for profit. And the Mexican guy goes, "And then what?" And he goes, "And then when you sell them for profit, you can buy a big boat." He goes, "Okay." And he goes, "And with the big boat, you can catch even more fish, and you can have a fleet of boats. And when you have a fleet of boats, you can build this huge company. You can put it on the stock exchange. And once you put it on the stock exchange, you can sell it all, and you'll be a billionaire." Mexican guy goes, "Okay, well, how long will that take?" And the American says, "Well, that'll take about 20 years. And the Mexican guy goes, "Okay, so after 20 years and I do all these things, then I've sold my fishing company, then what do I do?" And the American guy goes, "Then you go and sit on the beach with your family and you chill with a bottle of wine." And the point is, you go through all that hell to end up exactly where you would have been anyway, just chilling if you're not so greedy.
What makes you happy?
What makes you happy? If that's what you want to do, then just do it. So you can skip a lot of the crap if you just, find contentment in other things. And this is coming from the guy who's chased money his whole life. I'm not saying don't chase money. I've done it my whole life. But I've also understood that, you got to find contentment in other places. I was just
and it's great.
Sorry, go on.
It's great. It's great to hear the nuance in your story, because I sometimes see this man in the manosphere that they just say everything is yes or no. This women are this or that, and they don't see the nuance in life. You either have money or you don't have money. That sucks. That sucks. And hearing you say that, it's great to hear it, because there's nuance in your thinking, and maybe some people cannot see that in Twitter, because Twitter is just for the lulz, and for laughing. But hearing you say that, it's how do you say it? Comforting. Yeah, and it's great to hear it from you, from your mouth, coming from your mouth. And I guess many people can appreciate your honesty when you talk like that. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, yeah, and this is the truth. I mean, I never wanted to end up in that corner of Twitter that I've ended up in. I got there when I first turned up. I was like, red pill, what? Pickup artists, what? I didn't know how I kind of got there, But I mean, I kind of doubt Twitter heavily. I doubt how much a lot of these people are doing the things. When I read someone I see, read 3 books a week, take cold showers, get up at 6 a.m., never sleep. I'm just sitting there thinking, bro, come on. It's a lot of it is just virtue signaling from the other side. The social justice warriors, they virtue signal one way. And then the other guy, us on the manosphere, they virtue signal to try and be the toughest men in the world. And you have to see who's walked the walk and who hasn't.
Would you say that you've walked the walk?
Well, this is why, this is going to sound a bit arrogant.
Tell me.
But, I'm a 4-time kickboxing world champion, self-made millionaire. So if I come on Twitter and say X, Y, Z, I kind of feel like I can say it. But then there's some accounts, some anon account. You don't even know who they are. Don't even show their face. And this is how you get rich. Who even are you? You may be the homeless guy in Slovakia who I don't, for all I know.
Or the Mexican person from your story.
Exactly. So it's there's a whole bunch of stuff on there you got to kind of take with a pinch of salt. And even when I started my business, Tate Shinkai, doing the courses and stuff, the only reason I'm teaching this stuff is because I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I know what I'm talking about, and I have verifiable proof. I say all the time, someone goes, how do I know you're telling the truth? Look at my Instagram. Just look and scroll through, and you will see the proof that the life I proclaim to live is lived. It's there. It's pictures.
And you have the pictures and the videos to prove that.
Exactly.
I've seen your fights. When you kick someone in the face or punch, man, I'm a fan of MMA. I love fighting, caged fight, but not real life fight.
Yeah.
Programmed, you're paid for fighting. I love that. And when I see you fighting, you stop fighting. But when I see the videos, I just say, damn, I want to be there, but I just don't want to get kicked in the face.
Well, this is the problem. I'm the same, bro. I want to be the fighter. I don't want to get hit. Every fighter is the same. No one wants to get hit.
Yeah, no, but you get hit.
You get hit. That's how it goes.
You don't want to get hit, but I don't want to get hit. You understand me?
Yeah, exactly. Well, so yeah, I might make a comeback this year. I don't know. My mind is it's hard for me to decide exactly what to do with the fighting thing. I miss it, but also I've got other distractions now, and it's hard for me to finalize. Now I'm getting to the end of the years I could do it. I'm 32 now, so it's now or never. So I'm kind of thinking, I've got to go back and another shot or not. Sorry, bro. I've lost your sound there, bro. Can't hear you. There you are. I hear you.
Great. Okay, so I wanted to end in a high note.
Yeah.
But first, what would you say you would change or do differently from your life if you had to start over again?
That's a really good question. If I had to start over again, what would I do differently? That's a good question. You know what? I'm quite unique where I've never suffered with a bout of depression. I've never ruined my life for a temporary period of time. I've never made, like, a lot of guys have this story, like I messed up this period of my life, or I was depressed and then I came back. I was never that bouncing ball. I was never the guy who was at the bottom made to top. I was always the steady progression to the top. I can't think of a single year of my life where I was doing dumb shit I shouldn't have been. Like, I broke some laws, whatever, but I knew what I was doing, and they were calculated risks. Like, I'm really not. A lot of the other great guys on Twitter, they have such amazing stories, like Ed Lattimore, for example. They have such amazing stories because, like, oh, I was an alcoholic, now I'm not. That's a great story. I don't have that story. I was always steady progression to the top, never really fucked up. That's the truth. I never fucked up. I was always train, okay, try this business, doesn't work, next thing, keep training, okay, win one world title, start training for the next one, try a new business. I was always
one thing at a time.
Yeah, so I never had that period where I was like, oh, if I just didn't do that, or if I did this earlier, that I never really had any of that. I mean, obviously I could think of dumb things. I wish I bought Bitcoin in 2010. Who doesn't? But like, I never really had any big periods in my life where I made mistakes. I was raised and understood how to act and how to be from a very young age. So I knew what to do. There's just, I don't know, man. I really can't think of one period of my life where I really made any kind of mistakes. There was obviously unhappy periods in my life where there's times bad things happen, but that's a learning process, and that's normal and happens. That's for everyone. You have to go through that to understand, So I wouldn't even turn them away. So I don't know, man. If I could go back in time, I'd buy a shitload of Bitcoin and sit and wait. That's about it. I don't know, man. Like, I really haven't had any of those big mistakes in my life. And when people come to me and they have had those big mistakes in their life, I say, okay, fantastic, great. Well, to me, that just means you wasted a bunch of time. Get to work. Okay, well, we're gonna sit and talk about it. This is why I don't like. I have a beef with
warm people.
A lot of people. But when I say I really do believe depression's not real, and I know that blows people's minds. But I don't say it to get attention. I believe that depression's not real. I believe that depression is situational. I believe that humans we're evolved to feel depressed based on our situation, and the reason for that is so we don't get comfortable in shit situations. It's an evolutionary mechanism to prevent us from ending up in situations we shouldn't be in. If you go to jail, you're depressed. Well, it's because you're in jail. It's situational. So when you say I'm depressed, I say, okay, that means there's something about your situation you need to change. I don't believe
your diet, your lifestyle,
your exercise, your job, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. Taking pills and living the same life is not a solution in my mind. I don't understand that. To me, it doesn't make sense. So depression is absolutely situational. And I also have a beef with therapists because therapists are obsessed. I'm telling you, you know what?
Tell me.
Podcast. Twice in my life, I sat down with therapists, psychoanalysts. I did some TV shows in England, and before you go on a TV show, they have to give you a psychotherapy test to make sure you're not going to kill everybody, I guess, in the room. So I sat down with this therapist, and I ended up getting an argument with him. He was asking me all these questions and saying this. So what about your childhood? I said, I don't want to talk about my childhood because it doesn't directly affect me. I know it affects who I am now, but you're asking me for tiny nuances, like where I put my hands. Like, it has something to do with what I did when I was 4. Like, come on, bro, grow up. And then I said to him how therapy is not an exact science. Like in math, 2 + 2 is 4. But in therapy, it's not an exact science because you have people who are an alcoholic. Because
a lot of judgment is applied from the therapist.
Yeah, you have people who's an alcoholic because their dad's an alcoholic. And you have people who don't drink alcohol because their dad was an alcoholic. So you have people who react differently to the same situations. Yes. So it's not an exact science. And he goes to me, yes, I agree, but there's general rules we follow. And I said, well, you have a problem there, friend, because I'm an exceptional individual. I have an exceptional IQ, and I've achieved exceptional things more important than what you've achieved. I'm smarter than you, and I've done things you could never do. So you're trying to apply general rules to an exceptional individual. So they don't fit. So your general rules are for general people. I'm a world champion, self-made kickboxing millionaire. You can't apply your general rules to me. So what do you...
You practice that line all over again, have you?
And he was just sitting there like, trying to write things down. So I don't know. I was like, I don't know what you're writing down, boy, but it's wrong.
Yeah, because that is an unexpected thing to say to a therapist.
He's an idiot. So I don't agree with therapists anyway, because every time I've argued with them, they've ended up fucking looking stupid. So, but therapists obsess over the past in a level, and the reason they do that is to make money. because everyone has a past. So
why not pay attention to the future and what good things you can do now to affect the future?
You know, like if you're going to come in and pay me money to talk about your past, well, I'll find some new past to talk about every day because this is where my money comes from. But when people come to me and say, this bad event happened, what do? I say, what you do is get to fucking work. It's happened. It's happened. It's terrible. I'm not saying it's not terrible. I'm saying we can't change it. So why are we going to sit and talk about it and waste more hours? You've wasted countless hours upset about X. Like when my dad died, I was devastated. I didn't give myself a second, a minute to sit there and destroy myself. You got to get on with it. There's only a future, you know? And this can be verified. Next time you meet an alcoholic, talk to him. You talk to an alcoholic for long enough, you'll see they all live in the past. All of them have some problem from the past. And now that's why they're alcoholic. So there's so many people who are ruining their futures based on what's already happened. And I don't understand why. No matter how bad it is, the future's still waiting to be built, and only you can build it. Yeah. So I have zero sympathy for these people. And that's why a lot of people come at me and say I'm bad. But I think having zero sympathy is the only way to motivate them to understand. You want to fix your life, and you got to get and do it. I'm not going to sit and talk about what happened in 1988 all day. I ain't got all day. I got shit to do. And so do you. It's the reality of the world. So.
And I guess that you talk a lot of that with the people that go to your sites and your Twitter account, your DMs.
Absolutely. Everyone in the war room, man. We got some guys in the war room. He's like, man, I wish I knew what I knew now. You know, when I was younger, I'm 40. I was like, yeah, but at least you know it now. You could have been 50 and not know it. You could have been 60 and not know it. So at least you now know it. So, you know, I wish, you can always wish for shit when you were younger. I wish for shit when who doesn't? I wish I bought Bitcoin, like I said. But it's just a fruitless, it's your energy being wasted on absolute fruitless exercise. There's 0% chance of getting what you want. It's a losing game. I wish in 1998 I did whatever. Well, it's a losing game. So your energy, that's all you are, is your energy. You have to put it somewhere that's going to benefit your life. And you can only put it into the future. Putting energy into your past is never going to progress you. It's never
That's true. That's true.
You just have to do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. I say this to people all the time. There's nothing to it but to do it. Oh, but how do I do this? You do it.
And the thing is that people know what they have to do. They know it. They know that they don't have to. They have to stop dwelling in the past and do the job right now to affect the future. But I don't really understand what's their thought process. But it's so weird to see people that know what they have to do and still don't do it. That's weird.
Because people sympathize with them.
And they like the attention, I guess.
And this exactly, they get attention and sympathy. This is why sympathy is so dangerous. When someone comes to me with their problem, my answer is always the same: I don't care. And the reason I say that is because, one, I don't care, and two, because it makes them understand the reality of their problem. The reality of their problem is that no one cares.
It's not important.
It's not important. And even if it's tearing you up inside, no one cares. So you have to just get on with it. But if I were sitting and go, oh, really? Okay, let's sit and talk about it. It's just picking at the wound. It's pointless and it's just mindless. But this is the world we live in now. We're taught the complete opposite of what I'm saying. We're taught to sit there and discuss everything and talk through everything 100,000 times. And just wondering why everyone's got all these mental problems. If as strongly willed as I am, if I were to go into a therapist's office and talk about all the bad things that's happened to me every day for 3 hours a day, I'd end up depressed myself.
Can you imagine? I don't understand how how those therapists deal with that. Hearing all that crap all over again.
Why?
That has to do something with their mindset. Do you agree?
You look at World War II. Think of all the people who lost family in World War II. Think of all the horrible shit they saw. Think of that. Back then, there was no therapy. There was none of that crap. The war ended, and what did people do? They got on with it.
They had to work.
They had to work. Mothers lost their sons. Sisters lost their fathers. Husbands lost their wives. Whatever. And you just had to get on with life because there was no other option. And now we live in a world where nothing on that level of devastation has happened in modern history. And now people are upset over Twitter. It's like you just need to. It's insane. It's insanity. And when someone like me comes along who's unaffected, everyone calls me crazy. I'll take you're crazy. You're crazy. I was like, well, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm happier and I'm more resilient than you. If not being crazy means I get upset by Twitter, then thank God I'm crazy because I don't want to be.
Could you imagine if all that energy people invested on getting mad on the internet were invested in productive stuff and making the world better.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome, but
absolutely,
it's something it won't happen right now.
Getting mad at the past, getting mad at things they can't change. It's just pure energy waste. Just pure energy waste, because that's all we are. We're human beings, and we have X amount of time on this planet, and you have energy that you have to direct in, and the more energy you direct in a certain direction, the more likely you are to be successful. And if you're putting all your energy all over the place into dumb shit, then don't come at me and complain you live a dumb shit life. It's not my problem.
So let's recap. Let's recap before the last question. We talk about you having kids in the future. We talked about soon. It's on video, people. Soon. Yeah. We talked about the worm mentality. Worm, as in the creature. And we talked about the Tate mentality. Yeah. We talked about depression. We talked about therapy. We talked about your business dealings, how you deal with stress, how you view the world, how do you manage to bring out yourself and watch everything from above, just to see how unimportant some problems are. And that gives you comfort and the energy to keep enjoying life and being happy. We talked about the Mexican person and the American. That was a really good story.
Yep.
Yeah. And now I want to end with this. What would you say? What would you repeat all over again if you had to start over your life? One thing you would do like all over again. One episode, one thing.
The one thing I'm most proud of myself for. The one thing I would do again.
Let's call it like that. Yeah.
You know what? My fight career, kickboxing is not boxing. So my fight career made me money, but it never made me as much money as I made from business. But I think I learned so many important lessons about myself and about not just the world, but when you're a fighter, you learn so many important lessons about yourself. Okay. You learn so much about yourself. And a lot of the things I've learned weren't learned in books. They weren't told me. You just learn about the absolute harsh realities of the world. And you learn about, not many people have felt helpless. And I say that in a way where if you're fighting, and one of my fights, I've got a scar here, you probably can't see it on camera, but I broke my hand and in 6 places. I couldn't punch with it properly, but I kept fighting anyway. And the bone kept coming out the hand because I kept trying to punch. Anyway, it was a big mess. But during that fight, I felt helpless. I couldn't defend myself properly. Does that make sense? I was getting hit when I didn't expect to get hit. Not many people have ever felt helpless. So you learn something about yourself when you feel helpless. You learn how you react.
What did you learn there? I can just imagine having the broke. And you cannot see it because you have like some glove or something.
You have a glove on, yeah, but there's a picture on my Instagram of when I took the glove off. You can see how big the hand is. It's swollen like a balloon. It's like,
wow. What did you learn about that?
I learned about myself in that particular situation is that I didn't give up. And I was really proud of myself, even though I lost that fight, is that I didn't quit. And I learned a lot about myself for that reason. You know, and you learn how it feels to also have power over someone. You learn how, like, are you the guy who's going to hit a guy more than you need to? Like, if I've hit a guy and he's been half knocked out and the ref can run over, but I can just smash him one more time and just make sure he's going to, but then you could give him brain damage. So it's like, are you this guy? You get to learn about how it feels. You get to learn about genuine discipline. Training for a fight. Fuck any other sport. Every other sport. I don't care if you play football. I don't care if you do tennis. I don't care if you're whatever, dancing, gym, fitness, whatever you do. You don't have a clue what discipline is until you train for a fight. Training for a fight is much harder in every way. So you learn a whole bunch about yourself from a discipline point of view. It's just I can't explain it. I've learned so many little life lessons from my fight career, and you learn, most importantly, to not feel sorry for yourself. Wow. You learn that in life there's winners and there's losers. And you also learn, most importantly, that excuses, like I've said before, don't matter. If I lose a fight, I'll tell you the story. I retired. I came back 2 years later, and I fought again, and I lost the fight. And I lost the fight because I got poked in the eye in the first round, and I couldn't fucking see properly. So I got poked in the eye, and I stopped the ref and said, "I've been poked in the eye." Called the fight off. And I thought it was going to be a no contest, but it was a loss. Now, when I tell people, "Oh, I lost that fight because I got poked in the eye, it was an accident," no one cares. Everyone goes, "Oh, you lost, yeah? Okay, cool."
Yeah.
That's it. So you learn that excuses don't matter. And especially fighting will teach you that all your excuses, no matter how good they are, how perfectly rehearsed they are, how valid they are, they don't have any weight because no one gives a fuck. If I say, "Oh, I lost that fight, but I couldn't train properly because I had a bad ankle and I couldn't run, and then I didn't have a sparring partner, and then also, but that's why I lost." Everyone goes, "Okay, yeah, whatever, you lost." They don't write on the final fight record, "He lost, but he didn't be able to train properly because of his ankle." Win, lose. That's it.
Something special that fighting sport has that other sports don't have.
Because in football, you can have a bad day, but your teammates can have a good day, you'll still win.
Yes.
Or you can kick the ball and the wind can blow just the right way and put a curve on it and you can put the ball in the net. There's luck. In fighting, there's no luck. There's no such thing as a lucky punch. The guy tried to punch in the face and he punched in the face. That ain't luck. That's a punch in the face. So there's no luck involved and there's no excuses involved. So you learn to be ultra accountable for yourself because there's no other way to survive in that sport.
Yeah.
And that's also why I love chess.
You play chess? Because your father was a grandmaster.
Yes, father was a master. So if you play chess, no matter, you have to accept that if you lose, no matter how much or how tiny or when or whatever, if you lose, you fucked up. Somewhere in the game, even if you can't find it when you look at it back, you made a mistake. And it applies to life, the same analogy. If your life's in a shitty position, somewhere along the line you fucked up. You may not be able to see it or identify it or what, but somewhere along the line you made a mistake. And chess and fighting are exactly the same from that perspective, and I look at life from the same perspective. If your life ain't where it is, if your life is not what you want it to be, then you need to look and understand that you made a mistake and only you can change it.
It's your fault, and no one's going to save you.
No one else cares.
Yourself.
No one else gives a fuck. No one else cares. No one even cares enough to try and save you. No one cares. It's down to you. If you don't care enough to go and get a Ferrari, then why is someone else going to care enough to give you one? It's crazy.
Did you say that your brother cares about you?
My brother does care about me, absolutely. Me and my brother have a bond closer than any other brothers on earth. But if I started abusing drugs and drinking alcohol every day, he'd try his best to stop me. But if 2 years later I'm still snorting coke and ruining my life and drinking, there's going to be a point where he goes, "You know what? Fuck this guy."
Yeah.
Because there's a point where you can lead a horse to water.
Yeah, that's a breaking point to everything. You try to help, but if the person doesn't want to help, that's it.
Absolutely. And this is the thing with fitness. I get this all the time from people who go, "I want to get in shape." I say, "No, you don't, or you'd be in shape." "Oh, but I want to lose weight." "No, you don't, or you'd lose weight." Because getting fat doesn't happen on accident. It doesn't happen slowly. It happens over time.
It takes years.
It takes years. It was a decision you made. And now you're telling me you want to get in shape. Well, if you want to get in shape, you go get in shape. And then what people do is they feign ignorance. Because if they feign ignorance, then they have a new excuse. "Oh, but I don't know what to do in the gym." They pretend to be stupid.
That's the number one excuse, for everything. I don't know how to do that.
Or I don't know what to eat properly. I don't believe there's anyone on this planet who doesn't know the difference between healthy food and unhealthy food.
Yeah.
Try to put broccoli and Doritos in front of you and say which one's healthy. You'd know.
No.
So don't give me that I don't know shit. I'm not saying you know everything about diets. I'm not saying you know everything about the gym, but you know how to start eating healthier and start going to the gym. Pick things up and put them down. It ain't complicated. That's it. So you just don't want it enough. If you want it enough, you go do it. So I don't accept anyone's excuses for any of their shit. And that's probably why everyone hates me so much, because everyone has an excuse for why they haven't got what they want. And I come along and blow that out of the water, and then they decide to get mad at me for it. I'm this because I'm depressed. Well, that's an excuse, and depression isn't real. "Oh, fuck you, Tate. I hate you, Tate." And they get mad at me. So whatever.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Just noticed that my microphone went berserk and stopped recording. This microphone. Yeah, that's why you lost my audio. It's a shame. But hey, Tate, look, what you just said it's so powerful. It's so powerful. And I guess when people see this video and hear you talking and not tweeting, because Twitter doesn't convey the message as well as talking it, they'll see something different. I guess. I hope so. Because it's you don't see nuance in Twitter. And even if there is, when you read something, you add all your biases to that reading.
Of course.
But it's different here because I see you how you talk with big energy, and I see when you talk and look me in the eye, and it's different. It's different, and I hope people on the other side of the screen can enjoy this conversation between you and me and see that behind the tough guy, the gangster, the whatever, there's a guy that really wants to help other people.
Well, I do. You know why I want to help other people? It's because success is not. People think success is something that has to be stolen from others. Mm-hmm. People think that, like, if I'm successful, I have to take it from someone else and make them poor. I disagree. We can all be successful. Yeah. You can be successful, and I can be successful, and we can help 100 other people get successful. And
even doing the same job.
Absolutely. Happiness is not something that's stolen. There's no certain amount that is handed around. Mm-hmm. We can make as much as we want. The reason I do my courses in like the war room and stuff, I say to these guys, look, I'm going to try and make all you millionaires, make all of you live your dream life. Why not? It doesn't hurt me in any way. It doesn't take anything away from me to make sure everyone else gets what they want.
It adds.
I'm a philanthropist. I want everyone to have what they want. I just do it in a way that they can't conceive because I tell them I don't care about their problems. Okay. And they think that I'm the opposite. That's all it really is. But there's enough success and happiness and joy. There's enough out here for everybody. You just gotta go and get it. It's as simple as that. I really believe that.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great way to end the conversation, Tate. We've been over an hour and 15 minutes. That's great, man. There's a lot of content here. I'm really, really happy with everything you said. It's humbling because not every day I have the chance to speak a world champion, level. Yeah. This is like the first time I've talked with a world champion before. So it's humbling in a way because I believe that you're a very, very, very busy man, and you taking some time to speak to someone you don't even know, like personally. That says a lot about you. And I saw your tweet that you want to do more podcasts, and that's amazing stuff. And I wanted to thank you for that, for the opportunity, not only for me, but for other people that are trying to level up their game. And it's great stuff what you're doing right now. And I wanted to thank you for that. And man, keep winning. And I don't have to tell you, you just keep winning, but keep winning and keep helping other people because we need more people helping other people.
Absolutely, bro. And I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, man, it's been fun. You had good questions for me. I liked it. You gave me lots of talking points, so it's been fun.
Yeah, I had more personal questions, but for another podcast.
Another time.
Thank you so much, Andrew, and have a great night. It's night in your country.
Thanks, bro.
Bye.